And we are back. Welcome to Ascension eSports. Why am I saying Ascension eSports? Habit. So welcome to the Spring Jamboree, and goodbye from the Spring Jamboree. As we have an immediate dodge, looking to get back into this game. About to get into Champion Select, but something went wrong. We'll find out soon enough. I am Decerux, followed by my AFK partner, HarkenScythe. We are casting...
I'm not AFK. I'm just...
My currently returned partner, HarkenScythe. We are casting the Spring Jamboree Quarterfinals, Verdant Tyros versus Elite 8. And what a matchup we have right here. A lot of big names in Ascension eSports currently. This is the Spring Jamboree hosted by Ascension eSports and Risen eSports, with members of Compete League participating. The grand prize is mystery gifts, but... this is more for the learning, this is more for the fun, this is more for a good time. So how are you feeling after that last game we saw out of Verdant Tyros, HarkenScythe?
It was just domination. They knew exactly what they needed to do. They played very well off of each other. And if I was Elite 8 after seeing that kind of game, I'd be a little bit afraid. Just a little bit.
Learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, just a little bit. I can't blame you for that one. Verdant Tyros put on a pretty good clinic, but do not forget that Elite 8 are the champions of the current Elder League season.
Certainly, we do see...
Excuse me while I fix that little hiccup. It is Elite 8, not Diamond Eclipse. There we go.
Alright, so we see some interesting bands coming out. We see the Lucian and Lulu bands. So Samano and Allspark will not be on those picks, Sam. We also see a Riven band and a Zillion band. So again, very much specific bands. We see a Hecarim band as the last one for blue side, and then a very quick Lux band. So band's done very quick. They're firing off. They know exactly what they want to ban and what they need to take away from their respective enemy teams.
Yeah, and you can't blame them for banning out Lucian. This is the second time they've gone against Samano, as they did go against Samano in the Elder League Finals. We've seen how proficient he can be on that Lucian. Gragas picked up, most likely for JLC.
Hopefully for JLC, and we don't see it mid lane again. That did not work out very well. We see another Orianna pick. For Corin the Cat, so Fezzi will not be picking that up for himself. He played very well last game. We'll have to go to a slightly different pick, and we see a Zac pickup.
Yeah, I'm really digging that. Rusty bringing back Zac. I love that champion. Great engage, ability to gank from very creative angles. Should see a lot of potential coming out, especially with the Shockwave combo.
Oh, that's a ball delivery system dream right there. Because Zac, he can hit you from halfway across the lane, no problem. Have the Orianna ball on that. That's so much free CC from them. Of course, they're gonna have to get more picks to combo that out for, and we see an Ezreal hover. That would be pretty good against the Zac and the Orianna. Means he can play back, play safe, have the easy way to escape. So we will see that Ezreal, and we are seeing a Morgana hover. Most likely support, although Morgana mid does exist, and we do see a Kog'Maw hover for probably Atlas, although it could be, yeah, it's probably for Atlas. Unless we want to see a mid lane Kog'Maw.
So far, interesting picks going back and forth. We are seeing more calculation with these picks, as we saw earlier with Diamond Eclipse, that they were very crazy with the way they did their picks. Didn't work out this time, but Elite 8, champions of the Outer League, we should see a lot of coordination going between both teams. This is a best-of-3 series now, so there is room for adaptation, I should say.
And there is the bot lane. We see a Thresh Caitlyn versus what is most likely going to be a Morgana Ezreal. That's a lot of pick potential from the Thresh, from the Zac, from the Orianna, and huge team fight damage from the Caitlyn when she picks up that Rune Hits. Now, Tyros, they're going to look to round out their competition here. Unless it's Gragas top lane, they're going to pick a top laner here. I wouldn't mind the Renekton again. It did play that Renekton very well, and it's a pretty good pick. But we'll have to see what he decides to go with this time around. And it does look like we're going to see the Renekton again.
And Ziggs coming out of FizzyFez, a champion he's really actually well known for. Got him pretty far in the first season of Ocean League Ascension eSports. I'm actually pretty happy to see this pick come out again from him.
So that's a lot of wave clear from that blue side team comp, mainly from Ziggs and Morgana, because Morgana can of course just throw down the pool and get free CS. Ziggs very good at pushing out waves. And we do see a Jace hover. It would be into the Renekton.
Yeah, and we know how 8-Bit Buck plays that Renekton. He gives no 8-Bit expletives, and will definitely try and go hard onto the Blastona, who is now known as Feeder.
So he's... Alright, so we do see the full team comps. It is a Jace. That's a lot of damage from that red side. And we do see a lot of range from blue side. Ziggs, very long range. Ezreal, very long range. They might just be able to stay out of that Zac engage.
Yeah, but they might not. It's
It
definitely
depends
going to
on
be a
their
tower
position,
battle
yeah.
from Verdant Tyros. They are going to pressure that a lot, especially since they have the Ziggs pick. But it's very tricky to get away from a Zac, especially with the creative gank angles he can come up with.
Yeah, it's all about staying away and staying out of range for as long as possible. If they don't, then that's going to mean that they're going to be far behind, and getting behind on a Ziggs and an Ezreal is painful, because then they just don't have the damage at all.
Yeah, so here we go. Quarterfinals coming up right now. Verdant Tyros Elite 8 Best of 3 series. To update you guys on the brackets, we have them right here. Verdant Tyros beating out Diamond Eclipse to get in this position. Meanwhile, Elite 8 beating out Spectre. Mount Royale beating out Stratosphere. And they are currently going against the Zambaronis 2.0, who beat out Alpha Wolf Esports.
So this is going to be interesting. It's going to be, you know, we have our current Elder League champion versus Verdant Tyros, who had a very convincing round against Diamond Eclipse. So let's see if Elite 8 can really pick up the pace, or if they're just going to get run over by the Tyros train.
Yeah, it could go either way. This is the match that I feel like is going to be really hype. I expect it to go to a Game 3. Possibly not. All players on Elite 8 are very skilled players, especially in the finals. They all showed proficiency. Magic Conch, a Thresh one-trick, taking that Ignite bot lane, so we can expect to see a very aggressive bot lane coming out of Elite 8.
Yeah, but that's where the Morgana pick comes in a little bit. If Allspark is on point with the Black Shields, that means that Thresh's engage is a little bit weaker, but if Thresh plays it well enough, of course, he can definitely win it. But if Allspark's on point with these Black Shields, it's going to be very hard for Red side to find a proper engage.
Yeah, very hard indeed. And so far, we got an interesting matchup coming up right now. I feel actually a lot of tension coming from this. I feel the excitement in this match, especially with the little storyline we have going here. Samano trying to get his revenge on Elite 8.
Yeah, this is his revenge, but I don't know. They beat him once; they can probably do it twice. He definitely has a different team this time around, but he's gonna have to be careful, because there is so much, there's so much firepower from the red side, especially the Jace. Jace will just half health him with one QE.
So we will be getting into games soon. To alert you guys one more time, this is the quarterfinals of the Spring Jamboree hosted by Risen eSports and Ascension eSports with members of Compete League participating. The grand prize is mystery gifts, but that's not the point. This is about bragging rights. This is about fun. This is about learning. This is about improvement. This is about League of Legends. I am your caster, Decerux, with my co-caster, HarkenScythe. And how hyped are you for this match of the day, the final match of the day? How does it feel? And my co-caster has died, unfortunately.
I think, have I died?
Okay, there he is, there he is.
I'm sorry, I had my microphone off. But I'm very excited to see how this red side does. There's a lot that can go right for them, but there's also a lot that can go wrong if the Jace gets behind. Because we saw what 8-Bit did to the Riven last game. Eater's gonna have to play really, really careful in this lane.
Yeah, but it is a Jace, and that's the thing. He has that ability to play safe. It's gonna be difficult because you also have the Renekton that has the ability to get in, get out, you know, just get some damage in, get out of there, go back in, get some damage again, get a stun, maybe get a kill. And that's where that range is going to be very crucial.
Yeah, it's going to be on Feeder to stay out of range and make sure he disengages a fight at the right time. We see a Gragas jungle this time as well instead of a Gragas mid lane. Gragas has been a pick that's been rising in priority a little bit more as the previous S tier junglers have started getting nerfs, and he's certainly a strong pick. He can go, you know, Cinderhulk tank, he can take Runic Echoes and go for a little bit higher damage. So I'm interested to see how JLC is going to go. Looks like he's going to go for more of a tank route with the Courage of the Colossus though.
Yeah, most definitely, and that's the way it should be. You're gonna you need the front line, and having both that tankiness from the Gragas, from the Renekton, being able to get in there and be bruisers, do damage as well as absorb damage, it's going to be very crucial for the way they actually work their gameplay, because they have the poke, they have this tower siege ability, but they need that front line to be able to disengage, and it's a strong comp coming out of Verdant Tyros.
Yeah, definitely so. Once we get in, we'll see if we have any level 1 action. It might happen this time because there is a Thresh on that red side. We might see some cheeky buff steals. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Certainly would be more interesting than the starts we've had in the previous 2 games.
Yeah, so we will be getting into game momentarily. We are loading right on in. Spring Jamboree quarterfinals, Verdant Tyros versus Elite 8. Let us know who you think is going to win in the comment section, and we'll find out soon enough. Best of 3 series. Here we go.
Oh, looks like blue side is just going to fan out instead. We get pings all over the map, so standard fan out from both sides. Looks like bot lane as well as Zach going to go for that blue buff. And Gragas as well going to go for his blue buff. Unless Altos, Rusty, and Conch could go for the master bait.
Could be, but spotted out.
Looks like they're just going to get a ward.
Yes, Mono choosing to back off a little bit.
Smart of him. There is a Thresh on the team, so you need to be a little bit careful. Does look like we're just going to have a pretty standard fan out here.
Yeah, not much going on, and understandably so.
Just boring play. Come on, let's have a little bit of aggression. Come on, I want to see the Mad Life Flash Hook level 1. Come on, Conch.
Probably not gonna happen. Conch is a very proficient Thresh player, though.
So hopefully we see some sick Mad Life hooks. We'll see as that game goes on, because Thresh is a pick. If you're good on it, he's literally one of the best supports in the game.
Yeah,
so.
And Magic Conch is known to be a Thresh one trick for the most part. I believe in finals he went from Thresh to Morgana back to Thresh. So
and
he is
funnily
very comfortable.
enough, we do see a Morgana in the game as well. So it's possible we could see these picks traded back and forth. You never know.
I'm really curious how this mid lane matchup is going to play because Fez, one of his best champions, Ziggs, it's been said before, but he is against an Orianna. These are two very safe champions, and I feel like when it comes down to it, it's going to be jungler intervention that is going to swing these lanes in the way.
Yeah, and both junglers have very easy ganks. Gragas, Flash, Body Slam, Rusty. He could go for the long-range slingshot. Both junglers, very strong gank assistance. And
there it is, Magic Conch landing the magic hook. Altis tries to go forward with the flash, doesn't get anything out of it, and burnt for nothing.
That is double sums for Samano, exhaust from Allspark. Only for flash and ignite, so it could be worse. Conch though, he's looking, he wants another hook.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about earlier. The ability of the Thresh, especially in the hands of Magic Conch, really swinging this early game for the Elite Eight.
Gragas is near topside though, and could look for a gank on the Jace.
Looks like it might happen. Blastona's taking a lot of damage. He's choosing to go into this fight, but here comes JLC around the corner. He has the slow. Will he go for the E splash? And he does! First blood picked up by JLC.
Good gank, good response by JLC. Came up after Blastona tried to go aggressive and Rusty was not there. Ooh, Conch. Almost gets the hook onto Allspark.
And Altis not choosing to trade with Allspark. Probably didn't realize the black binding was down. Black binding, I mean dark binding.
I don't know, whatever the name of the ability that keeps me CC'd for 20 years is.
The binding.
The binding of a million tears. And Conch, look at him. He's just exerting so much pressure just by walking up.
Yeah. That's the thing about Conch. He feels very confident in that Thresh. It's been stated before, I'll state it again, because he displays it like it is. He shows off that confidence, and it's very intimidating to play against.
So, no major leads. Jace is starting to get a little bit ahead. Not much, just a few CS
About the death sentence, and there we see Magic Conch baiting out the Black Shield onto the wrong person, but he gets hit by the Dark Binding. Should take quite a bit of damage, not enough to really make anything else happen.
A little bit more trading bot side. I do think blue side actually won that trade. Conch took quite a bit more damage, and he is lower than Allspark. Does have more mana, but he needs to be careful.
Blastona didn't want that trade to be a loss for him. Actually went back in and fought that. Will he get the kill? He does! Wow, underestimating. Blastona was
Gragas.
8-bit buck. Now Rusty going after JLC plays, not able to get the elastic slingshot. Here comes the binding, lands on the Rusty. Absolutely nothing happening because of it though.
So that is a good trade for Feeder or Blastona, and he's doing work on the Jace so far.
And this is what we're talking about. If a kill results, it would be jungler intervention, and junglers, both sides intervening in this. Both mid laners
both flashes
almost
burned
down.
in the mid lane. So both flashes were burned in that mid lane, and nothing else happened. Foreign does have his ultimate. He could look for JLC. JLC is only level 4.
Level 5 now. Level up. A lot of damage on the JLC.
Wow. That was one auto in W. Damage is very frightening from that Orianna.
Conch failing that death sentence. Will it be a death sentence for him? Instead, it is not, as Altis plays that pretty well. Gets the trap on Samano. Gets
good trap on from Altis. Made sure that Conch didn't go down there. They need to play careful. Conch is very, very low. He does have flash and there is heal.
And there is a very gooey jungler stalking this bot lane.
He needs to be careful. They're deep under turret, so I don't think he's going to quite go for it, especially with no extra health. Looks like we're going to see an AP Gragas this game, or at least a Runic Echoes Gragas.
Yeah, most likely just Runic Echoes. Very common thing to build on the jungle Gragas.
Runic Echoes into
Ooh, Death Sentence goes out, lands onto Samano, but is it more than he can take? He's taking a lot of damage. Ignite onto Allspark, and it might be the kill. It's not, as the heal goes off from Samano.
That's flash exhaust from Allspark, heal from Samano for just ignite and heal. So all sums down on Allspark, and Conch didn't even burn the flash. Very calm play.
Yeah, he's very composed when he plays this direction. Showing. He
Rusty
did not bring the flash. Rusted. Ooh, a lot of damage on the Allspark.
Pop. I guess blue buff didn't get nerfed like red buff did.
Wait, what?
Red buff got nerfed recently last patch.
Oh. Down goes Altus. Looking away.
This time he goes down. That's a kill onto Samano, so now he has a decent lead. And JLC gonna look for a gank. He doesn't quite have flash, but he does have the ultimate. Could knock him back.
Is this gonna work? It looks like it's working. What a combo! Shockwave doesn't go off in time. Fez and JLC using that synergy quite well.
Combo. The Gragas ultimate into
Satchel.
The Ziggs satchel, and just knocked Corrin halfway down the lane, and now they're gonna roam topside.
Yeah, and
Blastona.
A little bit too far forward. The body slam flash goes off. A lot of damage onto Feeder, but it doesn't look too good for him as he drops to 8-bit Buck.
And that's another good roam by that's just a good roam by Tyros. They're making map movements. JLC on the Gragas, moving around the map constantly.
Yeah, an overall good play coming out of Verdant Tyros.
They showed it last game, and they're giving Elite 8 a run for their money here.
Yeah, really making the Elder League champs look not too good right now.
Conch with a questionable hook that time around. He's had some good ones, so we'll forgive him. But
so now the pressure is on for Elite 8. They're falling behind now. They need to stop the bleeding. They need to be able to get something off this map to start returning, to start shifting this tempo. And Hook goes on to Samano. Magic Conch is so good at getting those hooks, but it might be disaster for Elite 8 as they take a lot of damage. Flashes burnt from both members of the bot lane of Elite 8.
that was a bit over eager. Black Shield comes in clutch from Allspark, blocks the E, so he doesn't get knocked. So Samano doesn't get knocked into the Thresh ultimate. Well played by Tyros' bot lane, and once again, both flashes are gone. But Rusty could look for something on the Buck.
Might happen. He's hiding in that bush, waiting for Buck to go a little bit too far forward, which Buck could do. Death Sentence lands on Allspark. Allspark's taking a lot of damage, and there goes the exhaust, and the bomb goes off, does a lot of damage onto Altus. Altus is going to fall to Samano, and so is Magic Conch.
Definitely not worth it.
Ooh, not worth it in the top lane as Feeder picks up a kill on to 8-bit Buck.
So with that kill, it actually comes back pretty even. They trade 2 for 2. Feeder, Blastona, he's doing pretty well on this Jace so far, but he needs to keep accelerating because Jace is a pick that, while he does massive damage late game, his biggest power spike is in sort of the early mid game.
And for those of you who might be confused, Feeder is a member of Elite 8. When they did win the finals, he has changed his name from Blastona to Feeder. So if you hear us call Blastona, that's the reason why.
He's changed it to his real personality.
He begs to differ as he does get those solo kills on 8-bit Buck.
He's taking the pain train from Jace right now. That acceleration gate in the Q is hurting, even with doesn't even have a Ghost Blade yet.
Yeah, but That's what happens with lethality. Picking up that item has the advantage in terms of levels, and it's starting to show. Feeder is taking a lot of damage in this exchange. Will BitBuck be able to turn it around? It doesn't look too good for him. He manages to get in the bush. This is a very tense situation for Buck, but the minions are doing damage.
He doesn't have enough mana for the
JLC
Q.
will be able to get this, uses the barrel, gets the kill.
Good clean kill by JLC. Makes up for it, but that was really close onto Buck.
Yeah.
And oh, Fezzy.
Might be looking to get top turret gold for the first turret.
They might be able to do it. Does
But look
no, not quite. The minion wave is not in position, and they don't spot out Corrin. JLC, no magic resist. I think he's just gonna back off for now, and map's gonna reset a little bit. Corrin.
Ooh,
Oh,
taking
Corrin.
a lot of damage. Having to put on his dancing shoes to dodge out so many skill shots that came in. Meanwhile, Altis gets caught up by the dark binding. Spark has to run away, but Samano choosing to advance on this, steps on a trap, does not get the headshot, but here comes Ace in the Hole, hits Samano. Low health bars back and forth in this fight right now, trying to win this. Altis manages to dodge the Q, does some damage of his own, and what a fight in the bot lane. Here comes Rusty trying to get on Fezzyfez. Fezzyfez has no mana right now. If the shockwave lands, it could be disaster for him, especially because he does not have the flash anymore. Meanwhile, in the top lane, so much fighting going back and forth. Feeder is in a little bit too deep, gets a knockback on an 8-bit Buck, but is ticking so low. 250 health left onto Feeder, and the flash forward from 8-bit Buck guarantees that kill.
A lot of trading again, and Rusty, you're all alone now. You need to be a little bit careful. That is a level 10 Renekton. You're just a little level 8 Zac.
Yeah, and so far, the Zac pick not working out for Elite 8.
And now Chase not doing so hot. He's now 2 and 4. He had a pretty good early game, and now he's just kind of falling apart.
Yeah, it's been rough for him. He is able to get the solo kills, but every time a fight happens, JLC's there to pick up pretty much just janitorial duty.
Yeah, JLC's 3-0 and 5. Pretty much, he's participated in every single kill that Tyros has done this game. So he's doing work around the map on this Gragas. Like things are gonna quiet down a little bit. JLC, he's returning to the top lane once again.
Yeah, and with no flash on Blastona, he's gonna go down quite easily, and so does Magic Conch in the bot lane. Now Feeder trying to run as fast as he can. The knockup coming up from Rusty. Will it be able to turn around this fight? Instead, Feeder chooses to run from that fight. Corrin coming up. A lot of low health bars on Verdant Tyros. Will they be able to get it? Corrin is around the corner. Altis trying to do something over there. Here comes the elastic slingshot. Should we see the shockwave come out next? Trying to get the kill. Shockwave gets on 8-bit Bucks. It gets the kill. Now, JLC trying to get something else out of that, but it's already too late. 8-bit Buck has dropped, and Elite 8 trying to get back into this match.
They finally get a kill top lane, but that gold lead is not that large, but Corrin dodges the abilities from Fizzy. He's just putting on the feet right now, dodging everything.
That's first turret gold exclusively to Feeder. 650 picked up.
Going to be very important for that Jace. Going to go for that Black Cleaver after the Yumu's. Going to have
no tier.
Well, that's the thing with Jace these days. You don't see a lot of tier builds with Jace nowadays. Usually they just rush Ghostblade and then they either go Black Cleaver or
out into the wall. Corrin grabs that kill.
So that's going to be a kill on the Orianna. But as I was saying, with Jace, you want to go Ghostblade into Black Cleaver. It gives you a lot of mid-game power. It gives you so much burst against these squishies. And
ooh, a hook on the JLC, shut down as quickly as he came. He is now gone. Magic Conch has to flash away. Beater doing a lot of damage with the build he has. Doesn't have the tier, but it really does show in terms of damage.
Still some fighting going on. I don't want to start commenting yet.
Not too much coming out, but look at the tower game coming out from Elite 8.
Altus should be able to get this. And he does, so that's going to be solo gold for him. Going to be not quite first turret gold, but it's a decent amount of money nonetheless. And Peter calling in the middle of lane. And now Elite 8 actually with a gold lead because of those two turrets. And Rusty...
Uh-oh, Corrin's running extremely low. Here comes the rocket, but Samano picks it up before it even goes down.
And that's the passive out from the Zac as well. And that's
taking a lot of
turret
damage.
Power
And down
Altus.
goes Rusty. And there is the body slam flash coming out of JLC. Knocks back Altus, and that is it for him.
So now the gold lead back for Tyros.
A little bit of a caster curse coming out there. They are going to go after the Mountain Drake.
I'm sorry, Elite 8. I cursed you. But straight to Drake, there's no response, so...
Yeah, this is terrifying right here.
Free Drake.
With the comp that Verdant Tyros has, having Mountain Drakes is one of the worst things for Elite 8.
That's going to be even more turret power for the Ziggs, which who already has literally the best turret taking power in the game. Aw, Conch not going to go for the sick hook steal on the blue buff. And Samano gonna go for that turret, probably gonna get it. There isn't really a response outside of poor Altus on his lonesome, and he can't take a 3v1 unfortunately, so that's another turret. Turrets are even now, and that's about...
Magic Conch anticipating a hook juke, didn't come out.
They just stood still.
The best way to dodge a hook is to do nothing at all.
So
now the turrets are evened up.
Once again, Tyros has a small gold lead. It's only about 1.5 thousand gold, so it's not really that much, and it doesn't mean that much in terms of big item advantages, at least yet. They need to expand this gold lead and take advantage of the fact that they have a stronger bot lane and mid lane at the moment, and they need to take down this Jace, who is...
Rusty trying to flash over the wall, completely fails. It gets to the lantern, gets stunned up, but it's far too late. He's already at safety.
I was questioning that flash. That was interesting. Conch? Thought he was going to look for a hook on the Zig. Instead, he's just going to keep walking into the bombs instead. Ooh. That binding onto Corrin almost hits the... just barely misses the tip of his nose.
Yeah, and so far, overall, pretty good game coming out from both teams. Elite 8, despite being down 6 kills, they're still well in this match.
Oh yeah, definitely. Way ahead, doing very well for themselves. But Elite 8.
Ooh, Dark Binding just slides past Altus.
And...
might see an engage right here. Rusty on the side. Might be prepping for an elastic slingshot.
He could. You have to be careful though.
Ooh, the
Altus.
bomb goes off onto Altus, chunking him out.
That's huge amount of damage. The accelerated shock blast doesn't quite hit the Gragas. That probably would have done quite a bit of damage, even though Gragas has some armor now. So we do see a death cap on the Ziggs. Very interesting itemization. Normally you want to see, you know, a Lich Bane on the Ziggs to take advantage of the fact that he has so much power in his turret taking abilities, but even with just that, it's going to be a massive amount of damage he's going to be able to put out in team fights.
Yeah, I mean, it's all for the wave clear, it's all for the siege, it's all for the push.
So, Allspark, huge amount of damage onto Rusty. He's going to be chunked quite low. And he's going to have to find somewhere to heal up.
Corn getting caught out a little bit, has to use the blast plant.
And Tyros, they're putting work in on this game, but game is far from over. It's only a 2k gold lead.
Ooh, Altis might fall here. And here comes the True Shot Rush. Almost takes out Altis. But here comes the re-engage. The Wombo combo comes out. This could be the fight that Elite 8 are looking for. Melted or the members of Verdant Tyros. What a play coming back from Elite 8's deficit.
Oh my god. That was the perfect re-engage. Rusty, massive 3-man knockup. Corrin, 3-man shockwave. And absolutely amazing. They completely crushed through that fight, and that's going to be a turret for them. Wow, that evens up the gold immediately, just off that fight alone.
Yeah, and that's all it takes. One well-placed combo can turn the game on its side. Elite 8 showing why they were Elder League champions.
Yeah, that was I think that was the best fight that Elite 8 could hope for at that point, and they absolutely exploited that fact. So now the map's gonna reset after that play.
Yeah, turret are even for the moment, but that low turret in the mid lane could easily be taken by Fezzy.
Definitely. I think it is I think low enough for just him to walk up and hit it with the W. So Rusty gonna take a lot of damage. Force down to half. I think Tyros might be a little bit more careful trying to go in on this turret this time around.
Rusty getting caught out. Lantern is there for him, so he should be safe.
8-bit gets chunked down by that Caitlyn, but Rusty gets chunked in return. So just helping traded. Looks like we're in an ARAM once again.
Yeah, and that's because Verdant Tyros really want that mid lane tower. They want to get it. It's so easy for them to get it. It's just a matter of being busy. That's close enough, and JLC gets caught out. So much damage on the JLC. Is JLC going to be able to run away from this? He's trying to run for his life. The Ignite is sticking. Alco's ace in the hole, and he barely manages to live. Dark Binding, and this might actually be the end for JLC as Rusty tries to get in the fight, but it's not close enough. Here comes the teleport coming out from 8-bit Buck. Will not get close enough in time, and the disengage results in no kills for either team.
That is flash burn from both junglers, however, so, and it's more important that JLC has that flash because of the flash body slam engage, but
I need to correct you on that one. It's body slam flash engage.
Whichever. I don't play Gragas. Good deny against Rusty. As he blocking that engage attempt. Vision. Right now it's kind of even. Neither side really has a huge amount, although Elite 8 is in a better position for the dragon. JLC throws a ward. And
this looks like it's going to be Dragon for Verdant Tyros.
Yeah, looks like they're just going to have to back off. That Gragas still taking a massive amount of damage from this Orianna. They do, even though it might seem free, they have to play this very careful because, as we saw at that turret, the potential for a combo is huge, and looks like Tyros recognized that and is just going to back off for now.
Yeah, one big thing is they didn't know where Feeder was. He is going towards the top lane and get some of that farm.
Yeah, so they're just going to back off. Conch, there's pings out on him. He might have to be careful, but he does have Corrin, so he's going to get out just fine. And the vision wards, he has to be careful with Fezzy. Does a lot of damage. Gonna get slowed up by the Mountain Drake.
The Ocean Drake.
Whichever Drake. It's a Drake.
All the
it's a dragon.
And Scuttle Crab.
Looks like there's gonna be little bit of a dance around dragon right now. Who's gonna get it?
Goes out, almost lands onto Samano, so close.
Ooh, that hook. If he didn't eat out of that, I do think he got hit by it, but Altas did get that Scuttle Crab, so slight speed advantage for them. And that dance around Dragon Pit, it's not over yet.
They're actually choosing to rotate onto the mid turret. And here comes the Super Mega Inferno Bomb, but doesn't get the dragon. However, they are gonna get the mid lane tower for that.
They might have some trouble getting it though. They might die for it. Rusty does get hit, so they're gonna
starting to spread out right now. Peter trying to get in onto this fight. Magic Conch around the corner, looking to get a hook onto someone. Here comes Rusty. Manages to knock up both Samano and Allspark. Allspark is going to get melted. He's in no man's land. Drops immediately, but a return kill onto Corin the Cat with Shockwave not used. This might be Verdant Tyros' fight as Magic Conch has to flash away. Rusty going back in, but is that a good decision? Hook lands onto JLC. Are they going to be able to get anything off it? No, they do not. And a 1-for-1 trade between Verdant Tyros and Elite 8.
So that is Dragon for Tower, but that means that Verdant has, again, they have just a slight little gold lead. Let's see if they can hold on to it this time, because this game has been quite back and forth comparison to both games we've seen tonight. Both games that we've casted so far, they've been hilariously one-sided, both games. This game, a lot closer, however. Magic Conch starting to clear out a little bit of vision around Baron Pit. Doesn't quite get the ward, however, so for a little bit longer. Tyros will have vision. Altas and Corin in the mid lane. Ping's going out on the Baron. Are we going to have a Baron dance now?
Yeah, it seems we are getting that as of the moment.
Tyros is in a better position for the Baron if they decide to rush it, but that is a very tanky Rusty right now. A lot of health already. Good amount of armor and magic resist as well.
Very difficult for both teams to get into this, as Verdant Tyros have poke, so do Elite 8. As Verdant Tyros have engaged, so do Elite 8. It's really a very game of just proactive, reactive play.
Yeah, it's very close team comps, although Elite 8 do have the advantage in a straight 5v5 when they're
getting caught out. It doesn't look good for Magic Conch. 5 members on him. 2 deep is Magic Conch.
And that was that's a free kill for them, and they could turn that into Baron. They see Jace bot side. They could try and go for this. Although Apex's just gonna back off. Jace is gonna get that turret anyways. They need to trade for something here, and it looks like they're gonna try and trade out top turret. And Altus is the only one close.
Oh, Altus getting caught up, gets knocked back by the cast. Will Altus be able to survive this? And Shockwave does so much! This is looking so bad for Verdant Tyros. JLC is gonna fall next. Triple kill picked up by Corin the Cat. And what a great move! Another kill is coming up right now. Samano far too deep. This looks too bad for him. Is he going to be able to get away? Here comes the elastic slingshot. Flash burn by Samano. Tried to run for everything he has. Getting a lot of damage off onto Rusty. That blue build really paying off. Here comes elastic slingshot number 3. And that is the kill.
Again, we see the huge re-engage potential for Elite 8. Corin absolutely on point with his shockwaves. Another huge 3-man shockwaves. Destroys Allspark and Fezzy, and then Samano just gets trained down the lane. All the while, Jace is on the bot side, keeping Renekton busy, so Renekton can't be up there. And Jace did get a turret, so slight gold advantage for Elite 8. Again, it's very, very small. It's basically negligible, but every little bit can help.
Yeah, and what a tense game. This is
very
really
much
a game of inches, give or take. Both teams playing their hearts out.
Yeah, Elite 8, they've had some massive team fights, but they need to step up and start moving around the map as a team. And they need to try and see if they can force for objectives. They've done pretty well. He gets hit. He should be okay. Gets hit by the ball. A lot of damage at this point.
Ooh, again, Feeder taking some damage. Getting hit by the Dark Binding.
Feeder just thinks these Dark Bindings are really, really tasty. Tastes like candy. But he's going to heal up from the red buff and the Ocean Drake, so he's more than fine.
And we do see Cloud Drake is coming up next.
I don't think it's going to be quite as well fought over as the other ones. They might prove me wrong, I don't know. But I think it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do.
Yeah, the hard part for Elite 8 is getting onto Fez. Now Corin the Cat getting caught out. Here comes everything from Verdant Tyros. What a great follow-up.
That was a lot burned on him, but he does go down, and that is the main carry for Elite 8. Knocked down.
Yeah, that might be Baron for Verdant Tyros.
Jace, he might be able to get inhib turret. It's certainly possible, and nobody's going to try and stop him.
Yeah, this is going to be a questionable trade. 8-Bit Buck trying to play defense on this one. And here comes Rusty. He's going to be able to get in there and get the steal.
He's going to look for it.
Not go in yet. Is he going to flash the wall? Tries to flash it, doesn't get anything. And here comes the fight from Verdant Tyros. 8-Bit Buck might fall down. He's going extremely low, but it doesn't look too good for Elite 8. The inhibitor is down, though, as Feeder does a great job. There is the passive. Samano trying to melt him. Altis getting too close. Samano gets that killed. Rusty goes down with him.
Good fight. Good Baron from Tyros, but that is an inhibitor down for Feeder. Split pushing on the Jace. The team kept him down there. And it wasn't quite an equal trade, but it forces Tyros to keep someone bot lane now.
Yeah, and now it's questionable which way it really swung. Really, Elite 8 didn't have to give up those extra kills. If Feeder was able to get that tower and inhibitor by himself and that just be the cause for Baron, it would have been a great trade. But those kills really made it rough as to who got the better
Zach. Rusty didn't go in on the elastic slingshot. Instead, he decided to flash in. And he came late. The smite, it didn't happen, so JLC was able to get the Baron in the end. And then the rest of the kills happened, so Elite 8 gonna have to play a little bit more carefully now, but Buck just gets shredded by this.
Oh no, Corin getting caught out. Everything burns on Corin, and that's all it takes is one Dark Binding with no shockwave up. There's no wombo combo to follow. This looks so bad for Elite 8. Altis is gonna be next. Altis falls to 8-Bit Buck, and that is 2 carries you don't want down.
What a combo. The long-range binding lands. Allspark, flash, exhaust, ults. For the Orianna, they get her down, and then once Zach jumps in, there's absolutely no follow.
Dark Binding again.
Blastona.
This could be
Rusty
game.
too.
Yeah, Rusty falling extremely low. There's another Dark Binding. All Spark with all bindings landing. Great team play coming out from Verdant Tyros, and this looks to be their game. Will Corin be able to make a difference in the 5 seconds that he comes back up?
I don't think so. There's a Ziggs in this game. He's coming up, but
here we
I
go.
don't know.
Here comes the last stance. Fez is dropped. The shutdown goes off. Will they be able to destroy the Nexus in time? The race is on. Rusty trying to stop Samano. Down goes the Nexus, and the game will go to Verdant Tyros.
That was a little bit close at the end there, but Tyros, they pull through in game 1. This was their hardest fought game so far compared to the one against Diamond Eclipse, but they played it very well, and they eventually, it took them a little while, but they did eventually end it out. And looking at the damage chart, Ziggs, absolutely disgusting damage this game.
We're going to get to that in a moment, and there it is. Fez, 35 20K. Next closest was Samano at 22. What a display. There's one thing I did learn from Season 1 of Ascension League, and that is you don't let Fezzi have Ziggs, and this is exactly why.
I think we might see a different ban compared to what we saw last game. I think they might want to ban the Ziggs. They might have a different mid laner instead of the Orianna to deal with the Ziggs as well. But Fezzi put in work on the Ziggs, but I think Allspark as well. Those bindings at the end were absolutely clutch every single time. The one landed near the middle inhib turret against Corrin. He dies, and then that means their turret's going down. They're going to take multiple deaths as well. He was on point on this Morgana.
Yeah, so this is a best-of-3 series. So we'll be having another game. Can Elite 8 come back? We'll find out soon enough as we take a quick break, and then we'll get right into Game 2 of the quarterfinals of the Spring Jamboree. Verdant Tyros versus Elite 8.